to be looking at how spiritual drunkenness gets in the way and prevents us from attaining unto perfection in Yahusha HaMashiach. All right, watch this video to find out how you can overcome drunkenness and be ready and prepared for the coming of Yahusha HaMashiach. In the book of Lucas, the book of Luke, Hamashiach showed us three main threats to self-control in the end times, and we're going to look at one of them, which is drunkenness. That's what we're going to look at next. Drunkenness. Luke 21:34. Read it, please.
And take heed to yourself, lest any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting.
1,
and drunkenness,
2,
and cares of this life,
3.
and so that they cometh upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth.
So 3 different threats there: surfeiting, drunkenness, and cares of this life. And we are going to finish up this tie-in self-control with drunkenness. All right, just one of them. Verse 36.
Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
All right. So, drunkenness in Lucas 21:34. What does it mean? What are you going? Where are you going? Drunkenness, intoxicant, that is by implication intoxication. Intoxication. Now, intoxication is used in the Bible heavily by the Most High. He said many times that he will make you drunken. He uses wine and the intoxication of wine to show us the similitude of our walk or our salvation of our lives in this world. So the Testament of Judah tells us about wine, literal wine, and we're going to look at the spiritual connotations to wine to our lives today. Because we can be in drunkenness, we can be in intoxication in this time by how we live in this world. Yeah? How we live in this world. Because this world can make us drunken. You are drunk when you have no self-control. The connection, let me go to the beginning. The connection between drunkenness and self-control is that when you are drunken, you lack control. You're under the influence of quote-unquote spirits. That's what they call the wine, the rum, whatever intoxicant there is. And it's the same thing for us. We are under the control of spirits when we are drunken. And the spirits we are under control are the spirits of Belial. These are devils, demons of this world. Now, when we are under control of a physical intoxicant, we are incoherent. When we're talking, people cannot even understand us. We talk what? Foolishness. When you're under spiritual drunkenness, it's the same thing. You're going to be there talking foolishness, thinking you're good. When you're drinking wine, you're talking foolishness, thinking that you're right. And you're there thinking, blah, 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 and talking foolishness and think you're good. Now, when you are, another one, when you're under the influence of wine, you're not only talking foolishness, but you are staggering, which means you cannot walk straight. Spiritually, when you cannot walk straight, you're going to be all over the place. Because remember, as believers, we are what? Followers of what? The way. So if you are drunken with this world, you cannot follow the way. Because the way is what? Narrow. When you are drunken, one of the tests of a drunken man, when the police stop you, they walk a straight line. Walk a straight line. When you are drunken, you cannot walk the straight line. So you cannot walk the narrow path. You need a wide path. A drunken man needs a wide path to walk. A man who is not drunken can put one foot before the other and walk in a straight line. A drunken man cannot do that. When you are drunken, you cannot think clearly. You think foolishness. You cannot be reasoned with. All of these things, drunkenness is so similar to spiritual. Nobody can reason with you. You think you know, and you don't know. When you are drunken, you will reveal deep secrets. When someone is led by the Ruach, that person will know what to speak and what not to speak. When a person is not drunken, they will be able to be nice and calm, and they will know what to say and what not to say. When they are drunken, they say if you want to know what a man thinks is in his heart, just make him drunk. He spills all the beans and talks all sorts of foolishness. Yes? When a man is drunken, he doesn't even care for his own life. Have you ever seen sometimes people get drunken and they just jump in the car? They can hardly walk. I remember one time as a little boy, when I went to spend holiday with my aunt, and there was a man there. When the man drove the car up to the beach, we went to the beach. When the man came out of the car, the man was staggering, and the woman had to be holding him. And I cannot forget, I said, how can this man drive? No, there was a set of stairs to go down to the beach. And the man was struggling down the stairs, and I was a little boy. I said, he's going to fall. The man did not fall. When they were finished bathing and he went back up, he came back and he jumped back in the car and he drove away. Drunk. Yeah? That's drunkenness. You think you are in control, but you're not. And how many times have we heard about the statistics about drinking and driving? How many times have we heard accidents and the police have to do a breathalyzer? And when you check the breathalyzer, the person is drunken. When you are drunken, you think you're on the right path. Think about it spiritually. You think you're on the right path. Nobody can tell you that you're not on the right path. And that's how it is with religion. Drunken. Because the more you go into the truth and the more you see Christianity, you say, how can people believe that religion? Drunk. They are drunk with the wine of Babylon. Nobody can tell them that they are not right. And they have apologetics, and they will argue day in, day out, every day about their Christian and believe in their Jesus that is coming to rapture them away. No matter how you talk to them. Drunk. It's the same thing with wine. Let's go back down to Testament of Yahudah, page 35, 13:4 to 14:8. Page 35. 13:4 to 13:8. What did I say? Page 35. 13:4. Read please. For I said.
Could you bring it down a little? For I said to my father-in-law, I will confer with my father, and then I will take your daughter. But since he was unwilling to delay, he showed me a measureless mass of gold, which was in his daughter's name. He decked her in gold and pearls, and made her pour out wine for us in a feast.
That's the danger of wine. Pour out wine. Don't let anybody pour out wine to you. That is why when some people send all sorts of videos from all over, I say, I'm not going to watch that. I'm not going to watch that. Because people are going to pour out wine and make you drunken. And you're going to start thinking. That is why I tell people, you have to find someone who is telling you the truth and just leave everybody else alone. Because this world is full of this wine. People pouring out wine onto you to make you drunken. Continue.
The wine perverted my eyesight. Pleasure darkened my heart.
You see? When you follow these wines, the wine will what? Pervert your eyesight. You are no longer able to see clearly. That is why sometimes some people come to me. And I said, why are you listening to people? They come to me some things. They will be listening and they'll be getting the teachings and the understandings. And then guess what they do? Itching ears, gone all over, gone listen to other people. And then I end up now having to do videos or audio clips to try to get them back into M&R. Stop it! We tell it all over and over again. Stop listening to everybody out here. You get drunken with the wine. You know how many times I've had to do audio clips for people? Because I see that they're being pulled away into deception. And when they get the audio clips, they say, oh. Come on. Yeah, when they get the audio clips, they say, oh.
Testament of Judah.
The wine perverted my eyesight.
Wait, let's find it.
Pleasure darkened my heart. Verse 7 says, I longed for her and lay with her. Thus I transgressed Yahuwah's command and that of my father when I took her as my wife. In the book of Proverbs chapter 7, it tells you about the strange woman. The strange woman in Proverbs is speaking about the religion of Christianity today. And when you take a strange woman for your wife, you will transgress the commandments of Yahuwah. Verse 8. And Yahuwah repaid me according to the rashness of my soul, because I had no delight in her children. Verse 14, verse 1. Are you there?
Yes.
Go ahead. And now?
And now, children, I tell you, do not be drunk with wine, because wine perverts the mind from the truth, arouses the impulses of desire, and leads the eyes into the path of error.
You see drunkenness? Perverts the mind from the truth. Arouses the impulses of desire. Self-control there is in danger. And leads the eye into the path of error. Self-control. The lack thereof of self-control leads you into error. How many verses did I say? 14 or to 8. Continue.
For the ruach of promiscuity has wine as its servant, for the indulgence of the mind.
So what is this ruach of promiscuity for us spiritually? Itching ears. Itching ears. All over the place, listening to all different type of people. Going according to what? Itching ears goes according to your own lust. It says, upon their own lust shall they heap for themselves teachers having itching ears. That's promiscuity. What does it say about the ruach of promiscuity? Read 14:2 again, please.
For the ruach of promiscuity has wine as its servant, for the indulgence of the mind.
You see? Just think about it. The drunkenness that is out there, the intoxication, promiscuity as its wine as its servant. So when you go about going after people, listening to this and listening to that, people, and we are not saying that we have every truth and we are the perfect this and perfect that, but what we are saying is the Most High's principle is that He brings you to a teacher who will teach you that which you need to know. You have to know, and there are many false teachers. There's a famine of the word. You have to know and make sure that whomever is teaching you is not drunk with the wine of Babylon. Is not drunk with the wine of promiscuity, or else that person will lead you astray. If you find someone that, even I'm telling you right now, if you find someone who is telling you the truth and you are with that person who is telling the truth, leave us alone and go and listen to that person if you think that person is telling the truth. You cannot be all over the place, or else the ruach of promiscuity will get you, which is itching ears. And what is the result of itching ears? Go to 2 Timothy to see this promiscuity. 2 Timothy 4, verse 3.
For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables.
So because of this ruach of promiscuity that this drunkenness brings upon them, They turn their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. And this lack of self-control is what the Most High told us in the book of Psalms 81, when he told us that my children would not hear any of me, so I gave them up to what? Their own heart's lust, and they walked in what? Their own counsels. This is the itching ears. All over the place. On Shabbat, by the time you're done here, you're gone elsewhere, you're gone elsewhere, you're gone elsewhere. All over the place, having what? Itching ears. Let's go back down to wine, drunkenness, and self-control. Continue in the book of Yahudah 14:3, I think we were.
If any one of you drink wine to the point of drunkenness, your mind is confused by sordid thoughts, and your body is kindled by pleasure to commit adultery. Thus he commits sin and is unashamed.
You see that drunkenness? Drinks wine to the point of drunkenness. So you can drink wine physically and even spiritually. But to the point of drunkenness, to the point of being incoherent, of being carried away, of being lost, of being confused, of being all of those things. Your mind is confused by sordid thoughts, and this is when you go out there to hear all sorts of people. You have people here who, how many times to my feed, I have to be sorting out things that people have heard. And then I have to see telling people, stop asking me about what these people say. I have already told you, we have already told you here what you need to hear. Why are you going out there and then comparing what we said to what they said? What are you trying to see? Who is better? We are not in any competition. We tell you what the Most High has laid on our hearts, and that's it. Yeah? You go out there knowing drunkenness and now you become confused. And then we who told you in the first place have to now try to be sorting out this thing. If this one thing that I hate is people coming in my newsfeed to ask me things that they have heard elsewhere. Stay where you are tied. Yes? What do they have a saying in Jamaica? What they say? The cow must feed where it is tied. You know what that's saying? Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. So, your body is kindled by pleasure to commit adultery, thus he commits sin and is unashamed. So when you get involved in drunkenness, you become unashamed. And that is that with sin. When you are drunk, you are not ashamed of what you do. When people tell you afterward what you did, that is when you feel ashamed. I can't believe that was me. And then we might reach to the point of drunkenness when you do not care. That's when it comes to what? Alcoholism. Where the drunkenness is now an accepted part of our lives. Verse 4.
Such is the drunkard, my children.
He who is drunken has respect for no one. No one whatsoever. So those people out there who are drunk with the wine of Babylon, they have no respect for anyone, because we're going to look at the wine of Babylon. Because the Most High made us drunk with the wine of Babylon. We're going to look at that quickly. Verse 5.
See, even I was deceived, so that I was not ashamed before the throng in the city. Because before the eyes of all I turned aside to Tamar, and committed a great sin, and disclosed to my sons my acts of uncleanliness.
So when you are drunken, you're not going to have any shame. No shame at all. And you are going to commit great sins before people and not even care. That is why you have religious people today. They commit great sin and they don't even care. Verse 6.
When I had drunken wine, I flouted shamelessly Elohim's command and took the Canaanite woman. He who drinks wine needs much perception, my children, and this is the perception the wine drinker requires. So long as he is decent, he may drink.
All right. So long as he is decent. Now, you require perception when you're a drinker, physically. If you easily get drunk, don't drink. If you cannot control yourself, that when you start drinking and you realize, hey, I've had enough, you stop, don't drink. It's the same thing spiritually. So long as he's decent, he may drink. If you are able, for example, I am able to go and I look on what some teachings that these people are doing. I look on the teachings out there and it cannot shake me because of what I already know. And while I'm looking at it, I prove all things, hold fast that which is good, and I look at it and say, bam, 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 that doesn't match up, and that. Or we might say, okay, that is the truth because that matches up with that and that and that. So I am able to drink. But most people out there are not able to drink because it's going to get you confused. It's going to get you into drunkenness. Yeah? But verse 8 says, but if he exceeds the limit,
But if he exceeds the limit, the ruach of error invades his mind, and makes the drunkard become foul-mouthed and Torahless. Yet rather be ashamed. He boasts in his dishonorable action, and considers it to be fine.
there we go. So when we exceed our limit, it means we do what? We act out of lack of self-control. No self-control. And what does lack of self-control provide? You become foul-mouthed and lawless. Because remember, those who lack self-control cannot obey the commandments of the Most High. And boast in our dishonorable action, that is when now we have all sorts of false doctrines, and we boast in these false doctrines. Yahusha is Yahuwah, being one of them. Yeah? And considers it to be fine.